Good day, I'm Dr. Corne and I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Today we will be discussing a very common shoulder problem known as rotator cuff syndrome. Let us start off by explaining how the shoulder works. The shoulder is like a ball and a socket. Only thing is the socket isn't very deep and more like a saucer. Then there is a bony overhang over the shoulder. That overhang is made up of the collarbone from the front and the shoulder blade that comes from the back. Underneath this overhang is the one of the very important rotator cuff muscles. Just to complete the picture, because this is such a shallow saucer, we have a rubber that runs around the bone to make it a little bit deeper so that it acts like a suction cup and holds the head of the shoulder in its place. In rotator cuff syndrome, what happens is that as we get older, this bony overhang starts to develop a ridge on the underside. And every time I pick up my arm, that bony ridge will then irritate the muscle. If the patient doesn't get help at this stage, this will continue and the muscle will just become more and more swollen. In time, every time the patient picks up his arm, the muscle starts to get eroded and more scratched by this bony outgrowth. And eventually, just like any rope getting injured over a piece of rock, the muscle will start to tear. While the muscle is already starting to tear, should a patient pick up something heavy while the muscle is starting to tear, it's very easy for the muscle then to tear completely. On the other hand, if the bony outgrowth is just left, it will eventually tear the whole muscle anyway. At that stage, the patient will then not be able to pick up the arm above shoulder height anymore. Okay, so now we understand what causes the problem. I think it's time that we explain how to fix the problem. Should this bony outgrowth not be too severe, it is still possible to prevent the problem from getting worse by reducing the swelling of the muscle. And we do that by injecting some cortisone in the space between the bony outgrowth and the muscle. But should this bony ridge be too big, the cortisone injections will not work. In that cases, we then do surgery for the patient, and the ideal is to get the patient at this stage, because then we can go in with a camera and do keyhole surgery, and with the arthroscope one can then just trim the underside of this bone, which we call the acromion, and that will then leave more than ample space for the muscle. In such cases where the muscle had already started to tear, we can then also go ahead with keyhole surgery, and with the use of instruments, one is then able to put a suture through this muscle. We clean out the bone on this side so that there is a little bit of bleeding bone. We pull the tendon all the way back, put an anchor in the bone, and with this stitch, we then stitch the muscle back to its original position.